Recently, I decided to grab my friend Frogwater to help me rank Soulsborne bosses. Frog has their own YouTube channel where they make amazing videos. Check them out, seriously. We have two different views on Souls games as I speedrun the games and he just plays them more casually. Hopefully you enjoy it as much as we did ranking the Soulsborne bosses.
I'm excited. What we got on the docket?
Demon Souls, I think this is where we're starting. You've never played Demon Souls.
Nope.
Alright. Vanguard, C tier, it's cool.
I know what he looks like.
But you're kind of supposed to die to him, and it's boring. But you get a cool reward if you kill him. Unlike the Grafted Scion, where you just get like a dumb weapon that I don't think I've ever seen anybody really use. This you get like a whole bunch of souls and stuff like that, and in the remake you get the fluted helm.
Just not an interesting boss.
It's reused. Like later in the game, you get to like kill them more for demon souls. Phalanx, A tier.
Yeah, the blob of shields. I've seen that.
It's such a cool boss design, but not only that, what I love the most about it is the build up to the fight because it gives you so much hint about its weakness of fire, and it's like, it's weak to fire, it's weak to fire. It gives you all this fire stuff, so when you finally get to the boss, you use fire against it, and it kind of builds in and reinforces that Demon Souls bosses are going to have weaknesses, learn what their weakness is, and abuse it.
That's my dumbass. If I played Demon Souls completely blind, I had been fucking crying. My dumbass would not read that.
My dumbass would not read that. Okay, that's fair. We have the Ninja Blade boss. I think my view of this boss is very skewed because I played the remake, but playing the OG as well kind of makes it suck because of one attack. So in the remake, there's like this one attack you may see in like the trailers where like the spider boss fills the room with like this oil and then it lights on fire and it has this like beautiful effect. In the OG, it's just like a single thing of fire in the middle that takes up like the entire passageway, and you can't tell like if it's gonna hit you or not really unless you just know. So I mean, thinking about it from the OG, I have to put it in B tier, but I do like what they did in the remake for it. Fool's Idol.
That sounds cool.
S tier.
That sounds cool.
We don't need to talk about that one.
Okay.
Adjudicator. That's another A tier for me. It's like this fleshy boss that's really disgusting with like this golden bird that controls him, and you're supposed to like attack this knife in his side, and that's his weak spot to allow you to hit the bird to like do damage to him. It's sick. I love it.
By that 300 by 300 PNG, yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah, no, they pick some like questionable PNGs. They're all like black and white, like concept art looking things. I don't know where they got them from. I'm too lazy to make my own.
They genuinely do look sick, but they're just so fucking tiny.
The worst part,
I can't even
worst part
judge
about this site. Worst part, have to fucking make an account if you want to make a tier list.
Blech.
They make you sign in with either your Twitter or your email.
Oh my god. You mean your sex account?
Yeah, my ex account?
Yep. Your ex videos account.
Yeah. Alright, Leechmonger. You know what? Let's just do Leechmonger and Dirty Colossus together. They're not bad bosses. I just can't tell them apart. They're basically the exact same boss. Yeah, they're different, but they're just the same thing back to back. They just feel like placeholders and not a real fight. To me.
Some people call me the bug monger.
Why? Why do they call you that? Okay, who the fuck is stealing mufflers here? I swear, if I went bankrupt and I had to steal mufflers, there just wouldn't be a muffler. I can't even steal mufflers here. This place is crazy.
Boo keys.
Okay. Tower Knight. S tier.
I know like that guy. That guy looks awesome.
His presence is so cool. And I feel like people complain about this fight, or at least I've seen like one person ever in the entirety of the world complain about it, most likely. They're like, this boss feels so unfair. That's the point. Did you skip the cutscene? The point is the royal official tricked you into coming in there with a Tower Knight and having all the archers on the side. It's meant to be unfair, but it's not unfair where you can't win.
You mentioned something that I would like you to expand.
What?
He has an awesome presence or something along those lines, you said.
Yeah, he's a giant boss.
What does he give you? Cool presence?
We'll talk about this later.
No, actually talk about the thing you were going to talk about.
No, we'll talk about this later.
No! Okay, fucking whatever, man.
Flame Lurker? S tier. God, I'm starting to realize I feel like a lot of these are going to be an S tier for some reason. Do I just like Souls games?
Maybe.
Maybe.
A little bit of self-reflection.
Maybe. Flame Lurker in the Demon Souls remake. Ew, gross, kind of. I mean, it's a lot easier on the eyes to see, which is really nice. But they made some design changes to not only the arena, but to the boss itself, where I never realized it had a face in the remake, but playing the OG, I noticed in the cutscene that it had a face, and that made it feel less like a demon, because like the face is like burned off, and it alludes more to the lore of this guy, I think, being like a person before, but getting turned into a demon to fight the demon god or something like that. I mean, because it's not called a demon, it's called the Flame Lurker. Man-Eaters, the first Souls double boss fight.
Oh shit!
If it didn't
was it bullshit?
Kind of. I've heard a lot of people be like, "Oh, this boss is so hard." Maybe this is just me being an ignorant asshole. I don't find it hard.
I'm excited to play Demon Saul.
Oh, you'll love it. You under the table, I can like set you up with like RPS3 and like a copy of Demon Souls and stuff. Like, dude,
I'm there.
Just let me know.
I'm there. I'm up.
Yeah. You didn't hear that from me though.
Okay.
Old Hero, S tier. Melania, if Melania was good.
Whoa.
This boss, like Melania, is blind in lore, but unlike Melania, this boss is actually blind in game. Wild concept. Like, you have to like think about like you're slow walking and stuff like this to like avoid the boss from like aggroing onto you and hitting you, and he'll like do like wild swings trying to find you when he doesn't know where you are. Super cool fight. Honestly,
that does sound fucking awesome.
Demon Souls is super fucking cool. Penetrator.
Cool name.
I'll put it in A tier not to piss people off.
Okay.
I mean, the fight is really good, but it's not a Demon Souls fight. It's a Dark Souls fight, but with a Demon Souls style of combat. And what I mean by that is some of the attacks are really dumb, where I'll just like, where he has like one spin attack, where like he spins around twice with like this trail of magic falling around his sword. The first swing around doesn't hit you, no hitbox. Second one, that one has a hitbox. That's a little weird, but his armor is really cool, and he does have a long sword, which we all know is vastly superior to people with small swords.
Yeah.
Dragon God.
Is there any boss with a small sword?
I'm thinking, if he can like Dracula Mihawk, Guardian Ape. The sword is actually massive in proportion to the character, but to the ape, it's very small.
Okay, I'll take that.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I put the Dragon God in C tier.
Fuck him.
People kind of agree with me on this. The boss is too much of a gimmick fight. A lot of Demon Souls bosses are gimmick fights, but this boss in particular is actually just a gimmick fight. Cool design, wasted on a gimmick fight. Old Monk. Keenan Yellow reference. This was the very first boss fight to introduce summoning a player in as the boss. This was done all the way back in Demon Souls. And I think, the next time they would do it is Dark Souls 2 with The Looking Glass Knight and Dark Souls 3 with Half-Light.
Cool idea.
Yeah.
I want to experience that. I want them to put some shit like that in like Elden Ring.
Yeah, maybe they will with the DLC. I mean, kind of. With Elden Ring, it depends how they do it. If they were to do it where it has a specific weapon, health, and items, then yes. If it's what the player goes in with,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Elden Ring PvPers. Y'all some fucking nerds.
I don't hop in often, but it's fun. I like it.
Yeah, super cool. A lot of development time was spent on this from what I remember, I think, looking into this.
Oh, that's so cool.
Because you could imagine trying to implement like networking to bring somebody into someone else's world and then have them act as a boss fight. You could
I
imagine how
remember
much
reading an
development
interview
time is taken with that. Yeah.
that this was like he was most proud of this boss.
Yeah. I mean, I could imagine from like development standpoint, it's very impressive. Storm King. People gonna disagree with me on this one. I feel like, but I love Storm King.
Whoa!
This is the first game with Storm Ruler.
What's that?
And this is the coolest design Storm Ruler as well. And this fight, like you get that item, but you don't have to use it, and that's what I like about it because this is another one of those gimmick fights. But unlike Yorm the Giant, where it feels more like you have to use the Storm Ruler and it becomes a challenge run if you don't, you can grab a bow, some arrows, and you could straight up kill the Storm King without even picking up the Storm Ruler very easily. Not like it's not a challenge.
Huh.
I feel like that's something that's cool is that it gives you an option where if you're a ranged character, you can just kill the boss and not even have to worry about the gimmick weapon. But that weapon is there for someone who's more melee focused.
I really want to play. I want to play Demon Souls more now. This is hyping me up.
Bro, we'll talk about it after. We'll talk about it. I'll get you the hookups. Maiden Astara.
You my homegirl.
I was gonna put that in S tier until I remembered the Plague.
Oh?
Plague is like Toxin in other games.
Oh.
Yeah, and like it's pretty much the fight takes place with a plague with a plague swamp.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a little annoying, but yeah, like the whole gimmick is that she has her white knight and that she's here. It's like she went down to the really gross name. I think it's like the Valley of Defilement. Disgusting ass name. And she went there and like as like a religious pilgrimage, and she's like the savior or whatever, and she has her white knight, Geralt, I think. Something like that. His armor is really cool. He uses a giant sledge mace. It's like a mace, but the mace part is really big.
It's like a mace, but the mace part is really big.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll understand when you play.
Yeah.
Looking a lot, fucking S tier. This boss, moveset, it's more like a Dark Souls 1 boss, but he has his own gimmick. But at the same time, this boss is just the pinnacle, I feel like, of like Demon Souls learning like the Dark Souls boss formula. And this feels like them just firing on all cylinders for me.
I'll take your word for it.
yeah, no, you'll get there.
Sorry, I'm just like around. I don't know what the fucking say.
Yeah, no. After
Demon
this one,
Souls.
you'll start being able to chip in, okay?
Yeah.
Kinelan, I'm gonna put him in A tier, which is weird because this boss is the final boss of the game, but is super easy. But that's the point. He's a loser. It's like I don't know.
He gets it.
Yeah, Krishna gets it, but I feel like calling this boss the final boss is dumb, where it is correct. I feel like the final boss is more Old King Allant, even though you don't have to fight him as like the last one. But that's what it feels more like to me. And then this King Allant is meant to just be there as a loser. Like the health bar is to like make you feel like, oh my gosh, this is the final boss. And then you get there and it's nothing because he is nothing. That is the point of him. He's a loser.
I think I would have really appreciated it. But if I were playing this and I'm like blind and I'm like, don't know anything about this. I got this game from GameStop or whatever. I'm really excited. I got to the end. I'm really vibing with the game. And then it's like goes down. I'm like, damn, I wanted more game.
Well, you get more game because just like Dark Souls 1, killing the final boss throws you right into New Game Plus. It don't ask you.
I guess back before I had a computer, I would always like replay my game like 500 times. I'd be cool with that.
And I mean, to get to this boss, you have to kill every other boss. Unlike Dark Souls 1 with like being a more open world, this game is a lot more linear and you pretty much have to kill every single boss. Yeah, I don't think you can even skip any of them. I could be wrong. I mean, like you could skip them in like speedrun skips, but not like casually like you can in Dark Souls 1. Speaking of Dark Souls 1, Asylum Demon.
Hooray!
S tier. I feel like
Easily.
easily S tier, but I have to separate him from all his other ones. This Asylum Demon is different from all the rest. He's not
Thank you for
he's not
clarifying.
like other demons.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
That is okay. I watch so many people play Dark Souls 1. It is a pastime of mine. Once a year, at least once a year,
Same.
I get somebody new into Dark Souls and I force them to stream it or have them let me watch. This year it's my girlfriend. Last year was my friend Dave. Like, it's going to continue. I fucking love it. And seeing everybody like overcome Asylum Demon is fucking awesome. It might take them like, I think I put my sister on it too. She's like 11 and she almost beat Asylum Demon twice. But she tried like 7 times, but she got so tilted she couldn't even like hit him once. I love Asylum
Wow,
Demon.
that's child abuse right there.
That is such a perfect introduction to the game.
Such a perfect tutorial boss. Yeah, I agree. That I love it. You know, you get into the fight, it drops down, it's intimidating. You go up and you hit it with your sword hilt, and you're like, oh, this isn't gonna work.
This game sucks ass. And then you see the door, you're like, wait a minute, there's something cool about this game.
Yeah, no, and it teaches you the game slowly with like picking up items, equipping stuff. It is a great tutorial boss. I need to let the cat in again.
The inverse of who let the dogs out.
But I swear, this cat just left the room. Like, I snuck him out. Now he's back.
Teach Krishna a lesson.
No. Buddy, what?
Taurus Demon goes where?
Taurus Demon. B tier.
B tier.
It's just the same thing with Asylum Demon where it like teaches you plunge attacks. You can plunge attack enemies.
Ooh.
And then these an Asylum Demon and Taurus Demon are like the only two bosses you can even plunge attack.
Yeah, that fucking sucks.
If we're not counting Stray Demon with the glitch, but you know, if we're not counting the one boss they forgot to turn off the plunge attack because it's just a copy of Asylum Demon, just those two.
This is so lame that the plunging attack is only used on those two.
It really is because it could have made more interesting boss rooms. I feel like that's something Dark Souls really lacks. I'm starting to think about now. Boss rooms suck.
Yeah.
Just generally, like visually, sometimes they're pretty good, but in terms of the gameplay, they suck. Except for something like Capra Demon, where I'm gonna get drawn and quartered for putting it in A tier. The dogs can be a little much, but the arena is so good with the staircase there. That's what makes this boss so good. That staircase where the level, with how confined it is, but still having that verticality to give you the edge and win the fight is amazing.
You see the one 2 image to the left of Capra Demon, the White Knight? That's me, and that's you behind me. I fucking love Capra Demon.
Damn, for real, you gonna defend me?
Yup. I fucking love Capra Demon.
All right.
I'm so into it. It's like so close quarters. It like offers you something new that the rest of the game doesn't.
Yeah, I'll put your Twitter, X, in the description so people can ratio you and cancel you on there.
That's fine. I post like once a year.
I don't think you even check it, honestly.
No, I don't.
You haven't even noticed that On Your Hands has been posting like tweets every once in a while.
Let's go.
All right, Bow Gargoyles. I love the Gargs.
I'm into them. It's like it seems like such bullshit the first time you do it, but the second time you run through it, like, oh, this is pretty balanced actually.
Yeah, no, Gargoyles is the first dual boss fight in this game. Not the first one from is done for sure, but it's done really well in a similar vein to the Man-Eaters that they take their reference pretty clearly from, but they toned it down significantly, and the second one that comes in being at half HP is really nice with environmental storytelling of it not having a tail, so you can guess someone came and cut the tail of that gargoyle off, and that's why it's weakened.
That's so fucking cool.
Love that.
That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, but this boss can definitely be a struggle for people who don't realize that Andre is close by.
It's a wall. I'm really scared for when my girlfriend's a rager. She's like rages at video games. I'm really fucking scared for when she gets to that boss. She's gonna like throw something. She's gonna throw a chair in the wall.
Yeah. One thing I feel like this game or Dark Souls kind of sucks at is where they place Andre. Andre maybe should have been in Firelink just in terms of making the game, I feel like, more accessible to people.
Yeah,
Because
I know you
even if
have.
he's there, I feel like he shouldn't sell the Titanite shards anymore, but they should be like placed throughout like the level. So when you come back, you can level up with him because you're less likely to take that side path down, find the Undead Parish bonfire,
Yeah.
and level up with him.
Who was that other blacksmith that's like down below you in Firelink?
Oh, like in the catacombs,
Yeah.
Vamos.
The no, the new Londo ruins is what you call it?
Oh,
It's like
the
what's his
Berserk
name?
reference, Rickard.
Yes. Rickard. Okay. Yeah. He, okay. What can he do? Is he like does he like go to like at least like a weapon +5 at least?
Yeah, he does the same with that, but
Mm. Yeah, like nobody's gonna fucking find that.
find that,
It's a
yeah.
secret. He said, "Oh my god,
Even if you
it's
go
so
down to New
secretive."
Londo ruins, you're still less likely to find it because it's even hidden in there with like that side path down that you have to find.
I feel like 3% of players found that guy first time.
I found out a couple days ago that there's like like a weapon in New Londo just hidden around a corner. Cool, thank you.
That's awesome.
Definitely, you can see why like From later on had the blacksmiths in the hub. Elden Ring, Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne, all the blacksmiths, where are they? The hub area.
I like that.
Yeah, can't
Me
argue.
one that
Can't argue that. Even FromSoft agrees.
just makes sense.
Yeah, I know Miyazaki. He's my uncle. Moonlight
My dad works at
Butterfly.
Nintendo, basically you're banned. Moonlight Butterfly.
F tier. I don't like this fight. It's
It looks
annoying.
cool.
It's dumb. It's useless. But it does look very pretty and cool. It's such
Can
an
I put it in
annoying
C
fight.
for the novelty?
All right.
Wait, okay. Who is it alongside though?
What do you mean?
Oh, is it okay? Is it like really the same level of quality? I've never even seen these bosses. I just want it. I want the list to be consistent. Or at least put it top of F tier.
Okay, yeah. I'll put it top of F tier. Well, I mean, these bosses I put in C tier because I don't like the fight. They don't offer much, but their design is cool.
Oh, well,
So it
okay, then it fits.
Yeah. It's just I really hate the Moonlight Butterfly because it flies around, and if you don't have range, you just have to wait for it to finally just come down so you can hit it. That's annoying.
That is dog shit design.
And the worst part is your reward is just a divine ember to like upgrade your weapon like with magic. And let's be honest, no one's gonna do that. You haven't even upgraded a weapon to full once in your life, Frog.
No, I haven't. Isn't that incredible?
It's unhinged.
I'm gonna get that achievement.
You better. What a better one to do it for. I can't English. You finish the sentence for me.
I'm doing a I shouldn't call it a run because I confused Manon, but I'm just going through the entire game like punching, including Cestus. So I punched my way through Asylum Demon, punched my way through Tauros Demon, and I made it to Andre. I got the Cestus, and what was I talking about?
You were lying.
I've never what?
I was not
I'm
the one
lying?
confused. You were the one confused about what a run was. You thought a run was only referring to a speed run, but you can call a run through the game as also a challenge run. So saying
I am
you
the
are
master
doing
of my domain and I am the king of my words. And I think that you have misconstrued my words from my kingdom going over to yours, exporting to yours. And I think you have, I don't know. What was I saying?
Yeah, I don't
I've
know
never
either.
plus 15 to weapon. Ever.
You haven't even done like magic reinforcement, chaos reinforcement.
Hasn't
You
occurred
haven't
to me.
done any of them. He hasn't even upgraded like a Titanite weapon to +5.
Isn't that awesome?
No.
I'm him. I will continue to be him.
You don't have to do this to yourself, you know?
It's not on purpose. I didn't think about it. It's like, oh, I'm good. It's like I only level up or get stuff when I hit a wall, and I just didn't hit a wall.
Okay. All right. Gaping Dragon. I love gaping. I'm a big gaper.
I'm a gay per. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Repost if you're in the gaping community.
The gaping community.
Yeah, use hashtag gaping.
Hashtag gape. Gatekeep.
Okay, seriously though, I love this boss fight. The theme of dragons, the ones that are left being like corrupted and just like manipulated, and this one just being like absolutely grotesque and having like a crocodile head that like comes up in the cutscene before revealing the full body. I love it.
Mm. I didn't even think about like the full lore implications. That guy's in like a swampy ass area. There's a big fucking dragon with teeth coming out like for a rib cage. Oh, it's so cool. It's so fucking cool.
It really
It's
is,
kind of a
yeah.
mid fight though.
Yeah, the fight kind of boils down to you randomly get hit by like a dumb hitbox from the boss. That is fair. I'll move it down to A because of that.
That's fair.
The fight kind of sloppy, but it's just so its presence is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of an incredible presence, Quaylog.
Quaylog was really hard to punch to death.
I bet she was.
That's just it's just a fucking cool setting. It's a cool setting, cool boss, cool character. As to the lore, gets you asking questions.
You know what? A tier because of the run back.
The run back.
The run back is if you found the bonfire in the swamp and in the tunnel where the dragon scale is, you
Yeah,
have to run through the swamp, back to her domain, through the domain for a little bit, and then through the fog gate, and then she runs at you and you have to run at her and pick up your souls just to get back in the fight if you die.
I guess it is pretty long, but it never bothered me that much.
It's also the fact that it's like a swamp as well. So you're
Yeah, that
kind of
sucks.
going to be going into the fight poison unless you have the poison stuff to get rid of it. And if you die enough times, you're just going to run out.
I do appreciate the idea of like the game's philosophy being like overcoming hardship and then them trying to strike a balance between bullshit and then a decently fun challenge. But some shit is bullshit and they can't help it.
Yeah. But I mean, they could help it, really.
Yeah.
I used to didn't think about it until Elden Ring. That's like one of the great things about Statue of America, where it's not a
Yeah.
bonfire, but you don't have to do the run back. And that's such a good compromise that no one really thought of until then.
I adore that system.
Ceaseless. Ceaseless. Brother to Quaylog and the Fair Lady.
Hmm.
C tier.
I think I agree.
Did you fight him normally?
No.
Has anybody fought him normally that isn't speed running with a Crown of Dusk, RTSR, and Dark Bead and one shot him?
I think I died to Ceaseless Discharge more than any other boss in the game. And then I like looked up a guide on YouTube and there was the guy with they showed you how to do the cheese. And I did that and I killed him and I didn't feel bad because I didn't understand what the game wanted from me at all.
Yeah,
It looks
no.
cool and that's about it.
Yeah, like there's like a spider growing out of it and stuff. Yeah, it's just you're gonna choose the boss because it's annoying to fight normally.
I just didn't understand what it wanted from me. I wanted to fight it normally. I've never fought it normally.
Yeah, the rolls can be a little hard. Like it's hard to time it for some of those
It's
attacks
the
for
only
sure.
guy I looked up for a guide for too. Insane.
Yeah, I likely looked up one for Four Kings, I imagine.
Mm-mm.
How'd you just know about the rain then?
I think there was some dialogue somewhere.
Bro, you're crazy. You're one of those item description readers.
Yeah, I like to soak it in. Dark Souls was like a podcast game for me, and I was just going through it really chill. It was awesome.
Okay, five head. Iron Golem.
I like
I love Iron Golem. Fun boss
Iron
fight.
too.
Yeah.
People clown on him because he's too easy. Yeah.
He's easy if you understand how to like hit his ankles, but not every weapon's gonna hit his ankles, and not many players are gonna know to like look down to angle their attacks, or else their attacks won't hit the ankles and cause them to fall over.
I didn't. I didn't do that my first playthrough.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was that hard, but he was like good. I liked him.
yeah.
For me, he'd be like A tier.
Okay, that's fair. I don't know. I'm gonna put him in S tier because I really love the ability to like knock the boss over and have it fall to its death if you position it correctly.
That's a really cool spectacle. I guess we're including repeat playthroughs and talking about like where we place bosses.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Also, I saw. Have you seen a legendary video? It was I think it was the Super Best Friends play. Fucking love that channel. They like one dude Pat told the other dude Wooly like here summon this guy like, Iron Tarkus or whatever, and he like sent him in. He's just like just watch. And he's like no, I shouldn't like do something. No, just watch. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
and then
yeah.
and then he starts chanting Tarkus, 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 and Tarkus like fucking he puts him on his knees and then he knocks him off the whole fucking building and they're going insane, they're going wild. Ah! It was so cool. It was
Yeah.
such a cool moment.
It's funny because the headcanon that people have for the lore of Tarkus is that the Iron Golem picked him up and threw him so far that he broke the window in Anor Londo, fell down to the bottom near the painting, and died, and that's why his armor set is there.
That is so funny.
Also, I
So
quietly put
funny.
Stray Demon in F tier, but I want to loudly proclaim F tier.
Yeah, that's fine.
Priscilla S tier. We don't have to talk about it.
She looks really cool. She's got a cool like whimsical mechanic. She might be easy, but it's so fucking cool. Don't tell me you don't have a good time fighting that.
We don't have to talk about it.
All right.
Listen, I'm not beating the feet allegations, okay?
Oh, that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm never gonna beat those, am I?
Yeah, well, are you into that?
No, that's the funny part.
That's funny.
Yeah. O and S. Oh my god, I'm gonna get fucking flamed for this one.
Did you put Ornstein and Schmaug? Schmo?
Yeah, put them in
C?
C tier, yeah.
Oh my god.
Dumb boss fight.
No.
Their design is cool, but
No.
most of this fight is just Smo running into a pillar because he can't path himself correctly by doing the shovel attack, and then Ornstein canceling his dash move out of nowhere and just being super annoying. I hate
That is bullshit.
I hate when people go, I love how Ornstein and Smo compliment each other using their attacks. What the fuck are you talking about? Compliment? Ornstein can attack at close range. Ornstein can attack at far range. You know who else can attack at close range? You know who else can attack at far range? Smo.
Smo.
Motherfucker will charge at you at like 500 miles an hour. He's like a linebacker in football. And I'm supposed to sit there and go, they compliment each other's attacks. I'm like fighting to try to get an opportunity to get an attack in. Like whenever I speedrun this game with 80%, if I just didn't get this, like the Ornstein dash opener, I just quit out.
Oh.
Just straight up. I just wouldn't, I wouldn't deal with it. If I get a bad opener and Ornstein bunny hops away, because sometimes he can bunny hop, and I don't think there's a cap on how many times he can actually bunny hop from what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've seen like the most I've seen was like 3 or 4 bunny hops. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, I just quit out. And then recently I just break the AI because I don't want to deal with it. Especially when speedrunning when you have low health.
But you like but you're an Anor Londo or whatever. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. I mean,
You're
love
an Anor
their
Londo
design.
or whatever, and you go there, you meet the you're in like the grand hall. There's these big columns. You see these 2 people, and Ornstein comes from the fucking rafters or whatever you call them. Comes in, they're squatted up. They look fucking sick. You said it yourself. Those designs are amazing. They're like the hardest shit in the game. It is like people who beat this game, they think of these characters when they think of the bosses. They're so fucking iconic. And then they have the phase 2. Oh, and they have the animation for it. It's so cool. It is so fucking cool.
Yeah, the phase 2
C is too low.
not as bad, but
yes, phase 2 is way easier.
But I'm also thinking about this from people have gassed up this boss too much that it resulted in the Godskin duo. I feel like I feel like they never got enough backlash for like some of the duo bosses that were just BS.
I liked Godskin duo.
Sorry, I was just gonna let the silence sit in the air for a bit, just to let everyone type their comments real quick.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, we should move on.
Hey, you know the author of what is it? Like the Wheel of Time books, like the continuation of it's Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah, I was about to say the first one died.
Yeah. Brandon Sanderson. he fucking plays Elden Ring, and he did the Godskin duo with no summons, like regularly. It was like so cool. I tried to beat the whole game without summons too. It's fucking cool. He has like no time in the day to do that too. He's
Yeah.
busy.
I tried like beating the game without summons, and I think at one point I just like gave up on some bosses like Melania because it feels like some bosses were designed around you having the ability to summon.
I think so too. And I definitely no shame and no shade to anybody that uses summons, because one, they're fucking awesome and they're a cool mechanic and you're supposed to use it. They spent time on it, and it's like it's a thing you should use that they made for you. It's a tool to have fun, but also like it's a fun challenge to just not do it. Like I had a fun time going through every boss, including Melania, without the summons. It's just so much fun.
Why are you not a challenge runner?
Oh,
This is a fair question. Like you're like, I love challenging myself in these games.
it's
I
like it's fun. Like I played it normally, now I can play it funny.
Yeah, and then you just never made challenge run videos. That's wild.
I should. I probably should.
Well, you are.
Oh yeah. It's not. Well, it's not a
Forehead.
run. It's not a run. See.
Oh my god. Fine. ONS, just to make you shut up, is going in B tier.
Fine,
Sith. Oh
but I
my
wanted
god.
an S because they're really cool.
This is another one that I'm gonna likely get flamed for. But this is because speedrunning. Sith just sucks. The fight just sucks. She is a good girl,
From a casual perspective,
but
this is like the same as Priscilla for me.
the fight is so annoying.
Annoying how? What does he do?
She dashes around, like she backsteps constantly, and the backsteps have like a hitbox that do like 2 damage to you but stagger you.
That sucks.
And then she does like these dash attacks into you, and it's just so RNG and annoying, and questionable hitboxes from
Wow.
Sif.
I
Like
don't even think about these things.
looking at it
It's
from
like I've
like,
never
yeah, just looking at it from a speedrun perspective, not a good time.
from a casual perspective, fucking awesome. Maybe even S tier.
Maybe dog with sword and mouth, pretty cool. All right, for Keens, I'm gonna go with C tier as well.
I'm comfortable with C.
They're a cool design. The Abyss Arena is really cool, but
I don't know if anybody out here is repping the Four Kings.
yeah, just put on Havel's armor and like tank. No matter
That's what I
what
did.
challenge run you do, you can just put on Havel's armor and tank.
That's what I did.
Yeah, pinwheel. I'm gonna go with A tier.
A tier.
Yeah, I like pinwheel more than ONS, unironically,
Whoa.
because he is once again supposed to be a loser, like Kino Lant. That's his shtick.
I guess
He
so, but I
tried.
also don't think that you remember, I think you already know this, like the design philosophy behind where they placed you, like in Firelink Shrine, to have 2 paths. You were
Yeah,
supposed to like clear him out
no, you
before then,
weren't.
but they just made that place so hard. Well, you were not.
No, you're clearly supposed to go to the Undead Burg. You're not supposed to go to the catacombs. That's why the enemies are hard.
But you never like circle around and you just like blow through him and everything before him.
You blow him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I mean, he's not supposed to be hard. I feel like because he's a loser. Once again, he's one of these bosses that is just a complete and total loser.
I think he looks cool at least.
Yeah, it's a cool design, and it ties into his lore of like I think he either got like his wife and kid killed, or he was trying to resurrect them, and he turned into this creature.
Right.
Yeah, he's very much like a loser, and it's not supposed to be a hard fight. And if they were to, and even if you were to try to say, well, they should have made the fight harder, then they would have just put like a bonfire at like the bottom of the catacombs or something like that.
Mm.
And if they didn't do that and made the fight harder, imagine how annoying it would be with all the bone wheels you
Yeah.
have to get through.
Right.
I feel like it's a really good design boss, and people just don't like it because it didn't push my shit in. It didn't make me cry in the bathtub at 3 in the morning. And it's
Well,
like,
it's not even that. It's like the dude didn't even hit me. I was like, it's
yeah,
so underwhelming. But I guess that, fits thematically.
Yeah, Dark Souls, or like FromSoft has like a history of making bosses that are just losers. That is their point, and they give them a boss health bar, but they're supposed to just die.
I just wish we had more in lore to indicate that he was like a loser. I mean, I know there's like a ton that you can parse out, especially from his mask and shit. But like going into it, I didn't feel much of an impact.
That's fair. All right,
I
Gravelord
think
Nito.
is would Pinwheel be A for me? It's either A or B. I think I don't know.
All right, fine. I'll put them in B because it's funny that they'll be right next to ONS, and that's the only reason.
That is funny. All right,
All right, Gravelord Nito.
Nito. I am not annoyed by Nito, honestly.
I'll put him in B tier. Like if
Like
you,
I know the drop sucks. I know you're like surrounded by pinwheels getting to him. You would get punctured on the as soon as you get to the bottom, like if your timing's not good. But I don't know. I didn't really have a problem with him. He himself is not that hard. It's like once you actually get to him.
yeah, it's just this is another one of those like gimmick boss fights. I feel like, but it's the opposite with Demon Souls, where every boss is kind of designed around a gimmick, mostly. Where Dark Souls 1, they kind of remove that a lot. So it feels out of place to be fighting Nito, where he has the gimmick of get a holy weapon and then you can kill the skeletons. I feel like something like a necromancer in the back, where it would have been hard to kill because all the enemies and Nito on you would have been there. But when you kill that necromancer, you can kill the skeletons and they don't respawn or something like that. Or
Yeah.
just a way to deal with them that doesn't involve having a holy weapon would make the fight better, in my opinion.
Yeah. If there was like more hints about using holy weapons, I guess.
Yeah, that as well. It'd be hard to find out yourself for sure. Especially when like all the other skeletons you start being able to kill after killing necromancers, but you don't get that with Nito. It just breaks the rule entirely. Or I guess
I just brute force Nito. Like honestly, like with the
yeah.
strength weapon.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. You can just do that. And the fact that he can apply toxin as well. Just the fight is a very
I didn't
toxic
even
fight.
know that.
All his attacks do toxic damage. Like they apply toxin. Every single
I
one.
didn't even remember that.
His slashes,
That's awesome.
his magic. I think the only one that doesn't is like his AoE attack.
I think that's the only thing I got hit by.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I was gonna say he's really cool, but no, I think I just want him to be really cool because he's like
Edgy.
one of the guys in the intro. This is one of the guys that was built up, but I just didn't feel much impact from him.
You say that, but all the four lords who were the guys in the intro and Gwyn, all of them are losers.
Yeah.
Exactly my point with Pinwheel. Like, I mean, Nito is different for sure, which is likely why you wanted more.
Yeah,
but
he's
I mean,
based.
The Four Kings are the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. I'm pretty sure that's their lore.
Popped a perk 30.
Yeah, no. See if we'll get to later, loser.
He's smoking necromancer kush.
Gwyn, the biggest loser of all. Bed of Chaos, also like a loser, but more in a way of they made it oopsie.
Yeah.
All right, Demon Fire Sage.
That is kind of cool how they did everybody.
Yeah, Demon Fire Sage. Really cool art. Don't care for the fight too much. It is just Stray Demon, but red.
Oh, it's that guy. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Centipede Demon.
I barely fucking remember that fight.
Yeah, that's why
Centipede Demon.
Centipede?
Centipede Demon had a cool fight. I mean, like a cool area. It's a cool design. And I don't remember much of the fight at all.
I really like the fight. It's super cool, like the design and the area being full of lava.
That's
and you're
cool.
like, how am I going to deal with this? So you get into this arena and you're fighting him. And if you accidentally cut off his arm or his tail and you make a separate enemy and then you kill that, you get
so
the
cool.
orange charged ring and then you can fight him in the lava.
I've never done that.
Yeah, that's something that like you can just do. And I feel like that's cool. It makes the fight dynamic. The boss's arena is a part of the boss fight itself, which some bosses, Quelaag, are not mostly the case, really.
Yeah.
Bed of Chaos. S tier, obviously.
No.
Yeah,
F tier.
F
Does it
tier.
deserve F tier? Yeah, it deserves F tier. I just didn't have a good time. I just didn't feel anything about it. It just felt like an obstacle more than anything, whereas the others felt like actual things that live in the world. And I know it's like the domain. You like traveled all the way down to get here, and this is like the seed of death, the chaos. I don't know. It just didn't feel like much.
Yeah, no. And in the words of the Final Fantasy game, chaos.
Chaos.
Sif the bitchless.
Hmm.
I feel like B.
I'm good with B.
Yeah, I mean, he has the crystal that you destroy, but at the same time, it's kind of like very obvious. Like after the cutscene, it puts you right in front of the crystal, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, "Don't destroy my crystal."
Don't destroy my crystal.
Yeah, then you just break it, and then he gets upset, and then you hit him in the core.
No.
In speedrunning, like, use the RTSR where you have to be below 20% HP, and your damage can increase from anywhere from like 50% to like 150%. This fight is easier with RTSR.
Are we factoring in the lead up to Seath that like actually it would still be the same, wouldn't it? The lead, it's like really cool how you just like you have to die pretty much. Not die, but get sent.
I forgot about that. I have not been to the prison in so long because I just skip it every time. Factoring that in,
I think it would. That's bullshit. No, I think it's cool.
It is cool, but it's annoying on repeat playthroughs.
Yeah, it's annoying on repeat playthroughs.
Yeah. I feel like people have got like the prison sequence really wrong, but we're not really talking about areas too much, but I kind of do want to touch on it. People complain, can this motherfucker drive away? How loud can your fucking motorcycle be and you still be close enough that I can fucking hear it? Like, how are you this bad at driving? Holy shit. Sorry.
Yeah, X game.
He's not. He should be. Okay, but yeah, like the constant like droning of like that music, it's like people are like, it's so annoying, I hate it. That's the point. There aren't many times music is used in Dark Souls, and it's made to make you feel something. You're not supposed to feel comfortable in the prison. You're supposed to feel uncomfortable. And when you finally climb all the way up and you turn it off and it just cuts to dead silence, you're still uncomfortable. And it's just eerily
now you're
quiet.
now you're in an empty room. Now you're in an empty room that's like huge.
Yeah, it like I love that. That's really cool. And then the rest of Duke's Archives just sucks. Gwendolyn.
Gwendolyn is cool. Gwendolyn has the infinite hallway.
Honestly, yeah, cool ass fight. The design with
so
like the snakes, cool. The infinite hallway, the use of magic and a bow. I feel like this is the first boss.
It's like reasonable too. Like that you're supposed to get behind the pillar.
Yeah, I also feel like this is one of the bosses that feels real because they fight so unfair. They fight at range and they just teleport away. And that's like
they're a bitch, but I would be a bitch too.
Yeah, that's their whole point. Like, they're not the god of war. That's their brother.
Kratos.
No, Nameless King.
Boy.
I don't think you killed Nameless King.
Nameless King. Nameless King?
Did you not find him?
King. You mean 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was cool.
Yeah. That's her brother.
Hell yeah.
I mean, his brother.
Hell yeah.
I mean, their brother.
You out here misgendering people? What the fuck?
Gwendolyn's gender is so confusing because you can't just ask them. I wish I could just.
You.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Speaking of gendering somebody else, Gwen, Lord of Cinder. I'm gonna go with S tier.
They put genders in my Fortnite. The
Really?
West has fallen.
Oh yeah. Love that meme.
Next time they offer it in a video game, I'm gonna put my pronouns as Ezer.
She, her pronouns. Or no, my bad. I meant she, her sprains. Right next to trans towers. That's where we're dropping.
Put the image up on the video.
Put the image up. Hey, editor, put the image up. Now you see the joke. Now I'm explaining the joke, it's gonna get really funny because I'm the editor. So like the joke is I just told myself to edit it in, but I refer to myself as editor, and then I'll put an editor note like, "Hi, I'm the editor. I hated this part in the video," or something funny like that, and then it seems like I have an editor, but it's me. But I'm saying that it's me. But is it really me? And you'll never know the difference, and you could never truly know.
And then it zooms out to an editing tab, which it zooms out even further to another editing tab. This sucks. This bit sucks.
Yeah, this bit sucks. I hate this bit. I'm not gonna edit any of that in besides like
no, don't
the
do
meme.
that. No, don't even edit.
But I'm gonna keep it in.
Image. No, don't even put in the image. Don't even put in the
Don't put
context.
images as little as possible.
Yeah. Okay. Who did you put where just now?
Gwen and S tier.
Gwen and S tier. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a loser.
Gwen is cool. People clown on Gwen. Gwen's cool.
That's the point. You're supposed to be able to parry him. He's like a fallen lord. He's a loser and he's cool. And when you don't fight him with a shield, he's a hard fight all of a sudden. Wow, no way. Granted, most of that hard fight is from the fact that you can't heal because he just charges at you and input reads you if you try to heal. But still.
Like every boss in Elden Ring.
For real, for real. He an Elden Ring boss if you take away the parries, for real, for real. Alright. DLC bosses. Sank Guard.
I love the meme that for like Elden Ring bosses was just like everything has like a 5-minute wind up.
It really does. They really do.
And it fucks with me and it works. And I'm fine with it because I'm fucking stupid.
It's the meta now, unfortunately. It's the meta to just have delayed swings that are like 5 minutes long.
Oh my god. Fucking when I first fought Morgott and he was like he did the step. I'm standing up right now. He was like let me see if I can you hear my feet? No, you can't really.
Feet sound reveal?
Yeah, sure.
Hold up, give me a second.
The fuck was that?
I didn't know how to make a fapping sound. God damn it.
What the fuck?
I didn't know how.
Sounds like you just fucking took out a piece of gum from your mouth.
Sorry, I didn't know how. I panicked. I panicked.
But he like step, swing. It's like insane. It hurts me so bad.
Whenever I think of the Elden Ring like bosses, I like to think of like you ever have like your friend like come up to you, like put up their fist and like pretend like they're about to punch you, you know, just like keep it up there.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine.
Was that the Manticore?
Yeah, Sanctuary Guardian. Cool boss design. I just don't like the boss fight. It's kind of annoying. I hate bosses that like hop around constantly and you can never get attacks in.
Honestly, same. I don't know if that's a hot take.
Yeah, especially in Dark Souls 1, where it's like super slow.
I like it in Elden Ring, where they're cool about it.
Yeah, and you're fast enough that you can like catch up to them.
Yeah.
And they don't chain it together typically.
I agree with that. I agree with C here.
Yeah. Knight Artorias.
He's iconic.
B tier.
Don't do him dirty. He too.
I love his design, but his fight, and I've heard this before and I agree with this, his fight is not a Dark Souls 1 boss fight. His fight feels like a later game boss fight that they put in Dark Souls 1, and you have to fight him with Dark Souls combat, which kind of sucks. Like his overhead swing, you know what I mean, where he does the backflip. If he just hits you, he just starts comboing that, and you're like, what do you want me to do here?
Oh, I was kind of blanking on his moves, but you're reminding me. I just think he's really cool. Even though he feels kind of out of place as like he would be a better for like a later entry. I still think the novelty is just so fucking cool for him.
Yeah, it's definitely cool, but I just couldn't. I don't feel like I can put him up with like like Quelaag and Gaping Dragon though.
Do I like fighting Artorias as much as Gaping Dragon? And I guess I don't. I think he's really, really fucking cool.
Yeah, it's just not fun to fight, unfortunately.
I guess so. I think that's probably going to be unpopular.
Oh yeah, for sure. But what are they going to do?
Okay, right. You're going to have to do the heavy lifting here. I fought him once.
C tier.
C tier. Explain. Can you refresh my memory? It's been so long.
Okay, so to fight Calamite in the DLC, you need to get past Sanctuary Guardian, and you need to get past Artorias, and you'll see Calamite. He does like flybys and like scares you.
I remember that. Yeah.
Okay, to fight him, first thing you want to do is you want to run all the way through Lost Izalith, and then you want to drop down at the spiral area, and then go across the wooden bridge, dodge the Bloathead Sorcerer, and then go inside.
Jeez.
Then once you're inside, you want to go down the stairs, and you want to go up the stairs, and you want to go up the stairs, and you want to go up the stairs, and then you want to go down the stairs.
I can see why I only fought him once.
Want to drop off, sucks. And you want to kill a Bloathead, and then you want to kill a Mimic, and then in that Mimic is a Crest Key. Okay, once you have that Crest Key,
fucking Crest Key.
Yeah. Once you have the Crest Key, you have to go to an area outside of like Artorias' boss fight, where Calameet's like boss arena is, and you have to get past 3 dogs. Once you pass that, you drop down into the arena, or like you see Calameet fly by, and once you've done that, you have to go back to the bonfire, the Lost Islip bonfire, and then once you're at that bonfire, you have to go up the staircases of like the Artorias arena, and then open that one door with the Krez key, then walk up and speak to the giant, and then the giant will shoot down Calameet. And then once you've done that, you can go back down to the boss arena where you once again have to go for the 3 dogs, and then you can
That
finally
giant
fight
scene was pretty
Calameet,
cool though.
and he's on the ground.
C tier.
Pretty easy to understand, yeah.
C tier.
Cool design. Some of the hitboxes kind of suck in this fight.
I remember having a really tough time with it.
Yeah, I mean you could technically kill Calameet without having Calameet shot down, but it's really hard and not a good time, and just super number crunchy as well, with like a Havel set and like magic shield, and then doing all this other
Jeez.
stuff, and it's not a fun fight to like have to go redo just to fight them, and their fight is kind of not that good. And the fight I've also heard described as you either struggle really hard on the fight or you just beat them.
I struggled really hard.
All right, Manus. I fought this one recently.
I like Manus.
C tier as well.
C tier. That's kind of fair. Manus is like really strict. I feel like you're very restricted in what you can do against him.
Yeah, you're very restricted in the fight, and it when I beat Manus, I didn't feel like I beat the fight. Like I didn't feel like I understood the boss. I didn't feel like I did anything, and it's not like I was using like a Black Knight weapon and like ninja flipping with Havel and all this random stuff. I fought them with like the Murakumo.
What's the Murakumo?
It's a big curved sword. It's a giant curved sword basically, and it's like a standard reinforced weapon. Like it's not a broken weapon. I was not like using anything that like was broken, and like I struggled with the fight, but once I killed Manus, it didn't feel like I beat the boss. It just felt like the boss was defeated.
That's a really like abstract thing that like I can't expect people to understand. Like I assume different people had a different experience with Manus.
Yeah,
mine was I thought he was really fucking cool.
Yeah, I mean he's really coolly designed. It's one of those things where it was a boss before their time.
Boss before their time. Yeah, I can see that with like an Artorias thing.
Also, super annoying. There's a pendant that can like reflect the like dark magic he does.
I know about this.
Yeah. To find the pendant, you have to like go across and find the secret area. And you either have to have like the skull lantern, the light spell, or like the sunlight maggot, and like see like a sign that says "Let there be light," and then you can open up a hidden passageway only with that and get the pendant.
I think I actually did that, without any help.
Even the pendant isn't that good because you have to like know the attack and like preemptively do it, and it takes so long, and you're like fumbling through your hotbar to try to get to it. Yeah,
I tried it a few times in the fight, and then it just went to back to my big sword.
I think this is one of the first bosses that I can recall that has an item that you can put on your hotbar that like affects the fight in some way, which we kind of see later with like Morgott and Margit.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah. That is like a once in per game thing though.
So I'll put them in like B tier for that. I feel like I like them more than Calameet, to be fair. I'd much rather fight Manus again than Calameet.
I would too.
Dark Souls 2, you love this game. My mom loves this game.
I love this game.
Last Giant.
Really? S tier.
Yeah, it's such a... Okay, I'll put it in A tier, just because you're so defined, but yeah. No, this is a cool fight. I mean, his whole thing is he's the Giant Lord. That's his whole deal. He's, a great warrior that has fallen, and that's why he's like the first boss and pretty easy, but yet at the same time, he still has that ferocity about him. When you get him down to half HP, and he rips off his own arm to use as like a sword to start fighting you.
Oh, it's I don't even remember that.
He doesn't care. He is gonna do everything it takes to win and not die. He still has his fighting spirit, but he has fallen so much, and I feel like a lot of the other losers in this game don't have that. They don't have that fighting spirit.
I like that. I didn't know that. I think I just fucking destroyed him without looking up that much.
I mean, I could be wrong because the lore is very convoluted and like maybe this is what this means. I don't know. Miyazaki
Oh,
doing the silly face to you, like, yeah,
I don't know. Even if that's not the case, he's still fucking going at you, and he's like withered at the bottom of this
yeah,
nothing.
yeah,
He's just trying to defend himself, really.
yeah, yeah. It's super cool.
Like I
Oh,
would have put him A easy, but I like hearing that the way you described it.
yeah, that's how I look at the fight.
I love the pursuer.
Pursuer S tier.
That's my favorite boss in the game.
This is one of the bosses
First
that
or second.
yeah, this is one of like the iterations of bosses that From has been wanting to do forever, of a boss that follows you around, and they still haven't done it yet. You know the horse knights like that appear at night in Elden Ring? I forget what they're called.
Oh,
The
I
Knights
love
Cavalry.
them. Yeah.
Margit or Morgot, whichever one the first fight is.
I
When
freaking love that.
when
Where he's
they
like
die-
out in the world.
when they die, there's a voice line they say, like something about like may the knights of like the fell omen, or like the knights cavalry of like the fell omen befall you, or something like that. And a lot of the theory is they were wanting the boss to actually like follow you around at nighttime and like encounter you and stuff like that. And that's the same deal of what they want to do with the pursuer. But we only kind of got sort of that with like in Scholar of the First Sin, where like the pursuer would just like randomly appear out of nowhere, and like scripted locations, and wasn't as dynamic as I think From wants to do at some point.
I freaking loved the pursuer.
Yeah,
And
super
I
cool.
like the idea too. I loved it every time he showed up.
Yeah, the fact that you can kill him at the start, like where he drops down from the bird, you can kill him early if you're good enough. That's super cool. The fact that in his arena there are two ballistas you can use to easily like kill him, where it adds like this environmental thing that you can do to make the boss easier, but at the same time he can destroy them, and I feel like that's super cool. You know,
I may be stupid, but I'm also dumb. I never used those. I didn't even know you could.
yeah, no. I mean that's fair. Like it's not very like stated, but I think it's cool that you have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
Dragon Rider, like C
Um,
tier, they're like so forgettable. Like you're gonna cheese them most of the time, and then even when you don't, they're like
He's
not that
neat. I like his
hard.
arena.
Yeah, the arena's cool. I'd say B tier because of the arena being dynamic.
I don't know. There's not really much to say. It's kind of a cakewalk.
Yeah. Oh, Dragon Slayer, fucking F tier.
Dragons. I don't even remember him.
They just put Ornstein into DS2.
Oh.
That
Oh, is that the DLC? I didn't play the DLC.
This isn't the DLC. This is in the base
Oh.
game. You know, after like the dragon in Hyde's Tower,
Yeah.
you can bring down the bridge, and then there's a boss fight, and it's just Ornstein.
Shit, I didn't play 3's DLC.
It's just Ornstein with like blue lightning.
I don't even remember it.
Yeah.
Put it wherever you want.
Reskinning a boss that's beloved and then putting it in the game. It's cool to see Ornstein outside of like the dual boss fight, but at the same time, it feels not needed.
Put me in the game.
They should put Frogwater in the game. All right, Flexile Sentry.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go with S tier.
S tier. It didn't make that big of an impact on me. What got you?
The water level rising. This boss has a
Oh, does
hidden
it?
timer where the water level rises, and at a certain point, it will start slowing you down.
Oh,
So you
that's
have to
so
like
cool.
beat the boss quickly, and then the fact that it's two bosses put together, where one is in the front and one is in the back, so you have to learn like pretty much two different movesets depending on like which side you're facing and all that. I'll put it in
I
A
only-
tier because some of the like moves can be weird, but I really like its idea and presentation.
I only played through Dark Souls 2 once. I never remembered that. I kind of blew through the boss.
Yeah, no, I mean that's definitely fair, but you're not likely to like encounter the slowdown pretty much. It's very unlikely.
I guess on repeat playthroughs that would be really cool though. That's a
Yeah.
cool mechanic.
Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in DS2 like that. It's like a cool mechanic.
I think this thing gets too much hate. This next one.
Or in
I think
Sentinels,
I think it's more manageable than people give it credit for.
I'm gonna go with B tier, and my reason is it
I'm
starts
comfortable
out
with that.
really strong, where you can kill
Yeah.
like the first one up top. But my issue is when like the second and then the third one join you up top, so you pretty much just have to drop down below, and you're dealing with a duo boss fight. And that's if you can kill like the first one up top first. You know what I mean?
Exact same reasoning. Me too.
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
Something more like the Mantis Lords in Hollow Knight. I don't think you fought them. So you haven't
I
played
have.
Hollow Knight. Oh, you have? Yeah, were they like,
I've gotten like I'm either like halfway or like 3/4 the way through Hollow Knight, but
yeah.
I like stopped because I was like doing college stuff.
Yeah, where they like hop down like one at a time would be a lot cooler, in my opinion, where like you at least get them down to like a certain HP threshold
That'd be
before
cool.
they
That'd be really
like come
cool.
in, instead of just being on like a timer.
Yeah. I guess wow. I guess those guys in Hollow Knight really are like inspired by those. What are they called? I just call them the ballerinas.
I think Mantis Lords.
Ah.
Belfry Gargoyles though, F tier. This is just Bell Gargoyles, but they made like 10 of them.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
bullshit.
This is
There's
just
like
a DPS check.
they just threw it together. I don't know. I didn't like it at
Yeah.
all.
That one doesn't feel good.
Very cool looking boss fight. This next one.
Lost Center, fucking
Yeah.
S tier. The fact that you can light up the bonfire, like the lights on the side, and that makes it so you stay locked onto the enemy more consistently. I love that. Like that's so cool. This boss's lore is this is the Bed of Chaos Reborn,
That's so cool.
or something like that. The moveset is really cool. The design, the chained together hands still holding a sword, super cool.
Hell yeah. I never came across the mechanic first time through. I just didn't really I don't know why. I guess it was another one where I just blew through I just kind of blew through most of the bosses in the game. And I never got to really see what was special about them. So for me personally, it'd be like A because I at least think it's like really cool and I like the story behind them or at least the presentation even if I don't have the physical story or I guess the story that I like leading up to it.
I'm gonna go with A because the tracking in this game is really cursed.
Hmm. Yeah.
Example
I
A.
fucking hate that.
Example A with how bad the tracking is in this game.
Yeah, let me see this. Oh, oh,
She did
the
a
full
whole
spin.
360. Like,
Oh my god.
it was dead on. They just had to go straight. They just had to go straight, and they did a 360 to hit me.
It really fucks with the player, and I think it's a huge reason why a lot of people don't like Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, no, yeah. The combat is definitely different because I think it's a different engine, but I don't mind it too much. It's a little rough around the edges, but I can see why they went back to their old engine and instead just refined it to a fine point in DS3. That carried over into Elden Ring.
Beautiful.
Where Elden Ring, I feel like my main complaint about the boss or about the fights is not the combat itself, but the bosses usually.
Who is this?
Executioner's Chariot. This is the horse enemy with all like the skeletons and necromancers where you go around a circle trying to avoid it. Yeah, it is optional. You only unlock like a covenant from it.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah, just put it where you
want. Some people don't like it because it can be pretty annoying, but I enjoy it because once again, the level is taking part in the boss fight and you're fighting the level as much as you're fighting the boss itself. And eventually when you get to a certain point, there's a lever you can pull, which knocks the chariot off of the horses, I believe. And then you're just fighting like the horses themselves or something like that. And it's not going around and it turns into like an actual boss fight. I feel like that's pretty cool.
That sounds pretty cool.
It's a hybrid between a gimmick fight and a real boss fight.
I'm going to go through Dark Souls 2 again when I punch through everything. It's going to be fun.
DLC as well, because you hate yourself?
Oh, yeah. I need to do the DLC. Can I do DLC like max level? I mean, like I finished the game. Can I do DLC still?
Yeah.
I mean, like, is that appropriate? Is it like an appropriate level?
I don't know. I've never beaten the DLC for Dark Souls 2. Or yeah, we'll get to that though.
Okay.
I don't enjoy it.
Who are these?
Skeleton Lords.
Skeleton Lords.
I think these are required. Yeah, they're like the 3 big skeletons, and they like there's a whole bunch of the smaller skeletons. And then
that was cool. I liked it.
Yeah, it was cool, but like
it was neat.
It wears off.
B is good. Yeah, B is good. C is like mid, isn't it? Is C mid?
C, I kind of describe as really cool design, but everything else around it sucks.
Forgot about that. Yeah, okay.
And F is just I actually hate this boss.
F is you hate it. Okay.
Yeah. Covetous Demon. I feel like S tier. Like it's one of those, once again, like a loser boss. I guess I'll put it in A tier instead of S. Once again, it's one of those like loser easy bosses but there's so much you can do, like knocking over pots on top of its head. The fact that its gravitat can like eat you and like take your armor off or like destroy
That's
your
so
armor or
cool.
something like that. Things like that are really cool to me. Where you're not supposed to take this fight seriously, but I love its like design and I love losers, you know? Now next boss. Mifa, the beautiful queen.
She
S
would be
tier.
S if it wasn't fucking so obscured. Like, how the fuck do you know that you're supposed to turn off the goddamn windmill?
That's
Like, from
fair.
that position. Oh my gosh.
Especially with a torch. I remember when I had to like look. I think I like
I even knew that you had needed to turn off the windmill. I didn't know how.
same. I like figured it out with like the message. I'm like, oh, I need to turn off the windmill, and then
I
I had
was
to look up how to light a torch because I didn't realize at a bonfire you can like toggle which thing to do.
I was playing at a time when all of the servers were off. Because that one guy talked about like that the huge exploit with getting into other people's systems, and then like FromSoft pulled all the servers from all the games for temporarily before Elden Ring came out. That's when I played Dark Souls 2, and I had no messages, and I had a friend watching me play it, and he's like, all right, kill those guys, and all the people around the windmill, the place where you set it on fire or whatever, and he's like, okay, now walk over there, right here, like in this weird fucking spot. He's like, all right, now keep walking forward. Okay. And then I finally saw the prompt. It was such bullshit. It's such bullshit. But the fight itself is cool.
Was there not a developer message there? I mean, even if you're playing offline, there should be those developer messages.
Was there? I didn't even see it.
Maybe there's not. Maybe I'm thinking differently.
Maybe there is, and I'm stupid.
I don't know. The boss fight is cool. It's obviously like inspired from the mythos of what's her name, Medusa.
Yeah.
But instead of having the snake hair, it's just normal hair, but a snake body.
Medusa.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Smelty demon. I'm gonna
B
go with
tier.
B. And my
How
reasoning
come?
for this, because you can just avoid it. It's one of those bosses that's like super annoying. It's in the Iron Keep. It's hard to get to. There's all the knights that block your way. But at the same time, you can just avoid it. You don't have to fight this boss.
Really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, there's just like a side path you can take.
I liked him. I first tried the boss. I didn't really put much thought into it.
Yeah, it's like a cool design, but I don't care for it. Most people, I think, don't care for it.
All right. Yeah, I've heard some people say they hate it just because like I think you get closer and it does like some sort of damage to you.
Yeah,
It felt manageable enough to me, to be honest.
I think like its second phase, or maybe it starts out like this, like the fire it has emitting around it will just damage you if you're close to it. Like
Okay.
old Iron King. I'm gonna go with Age here.
Old Iron King. Oh, that's the big
The
Satan
big
looking
guy, yeah.
motherfucker in
This,
downstairs.
yeah,
The big guy downstairs.
yeah, outside by like all the lava. Yeah, his arena has like all the holes in it, and like it's surrounded
I
by
didn't.
lava, and you have to like think about like where you're positioning yourself because you can get hit into the lava and die. So you're fighting you're fighting the level, which I really like. The design is quite simple, still very cool and memorable, and it feels like Ceaseless Demon, but more manageable, and like you can actually read the attacks.
It is like a novelty. I think I'm a little like, because I played Dark Souls 1, I'm like a little skewed on what I think like a good boss is. So I'm just like, I just didn't care about him at all. And once I was done with him, I'm like, okay, that happened. Neat. I have no strong feelings for him.
That's fair, but I wouldn't put him next to Smelter Demon.
Just let it be known, I don't care about. I just, it's like I didn't even see this boss.
That's fair. Sorceress Nachka.
I like her. I think she's funny.
It's a cool design, cool area, but some attacks can be a little annoying from her, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say A tier. I wouldn't put it in like S, but it's still pretty good. It's just Quaylog, but they tried to improve upon Quaylog.
She's solid.
Yeah,
You
I'll
put her
put them
above
there.
Quaylog?
Yeah. Royal Rat Authority, I'm gonna go with
Oh,
F
Rat
tier
Authority?
because I hate this boss.
That's fair.
I had a really bad
It's such a
experience with
nothing.
this
It's such a
one.
nothing boss. It's so easy.
Yeah, it's an optional boss, and I had such a bad experience my first time fighting this boss, dealing with like
But
the
it's a
three small
loser.
dogs,
You
and
love losers.
I don't like this one. I have
um,
a very
I thought it was
love-hate
cool that there
relationship with
was like a
DS2.
okay. I thought it was kind of neat in the sense that there was like a rat area and there's a rat vanguard and they have a rat king. Like after you beat the boss, you see the rat king.
This is a different one.
Oh,
Royal
okay.
Rat Authority is the giant one with the three smaller dogs in the arena,
Oh,
and this is in the it's in the one place of the dwarfs.
oh, I don't remember this.
Yeah, no, this is a different one. This one's like a giant like Sif, but a rat, and it has this vomit that damages and breaks your weapons, which is already a problem in DS2 to begin with. Like your stuff's just gonna break anyways, and then you throw in a boss that does just break your stuff, like as like
Yeah, I don't.
a vomit like
I
gaping dragon.
maybe I didn't see this boss.
I didn't enjoy it. Like on my repeat playthroughs of the game, I found this boss easier to fight, but my first playthrough of it was just so miserable that I hate it.
Damn. Who's that?
Prowling Magus in the congregation. I'm gonna go with A tier. The boss
Magus.
fight is really easy, but I'll go B.
What area are they in? I can't remember them.
They're before the desert.
Let me look them up.
The desert with like the spider people and all the
Okay.
spiders. They're
Prowling
after like
Magus.
the giant boulders that like the dudes
Wouldn't it
try
be
to throw down on you.
like Magus? Oh, this guy.
Yeah, it's like the church people.
Okay. He was fine. I don't know. He was there. Yeah, I guess he just fits with the area, but it's not like it doesn't feel memorable in any way, really.
That's fair. That's fair. That's also why I put it down in B tier. But this one, A tier. Duke's here, Frasier. I love it.
I feel like our list might be a little mixed up because
This,
like even the Magus was like you're like yeah it's not memorable and it doesn't look cool, which is like what C tier has. It's just so mid, but it's not bad. Like you
yeah,
beat
yeah,
it and it's like it fits with the
yeah. It
story.
fits.
It's weird.
That's what I mean. Like it fits. Yeah. I
It's
don't.
weird.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, who's next?
The Duke's here, Frasier. I put that in A tier.
Let me look them up also.
That's where you took the two spiders, and you stuck their asses together with super glue.
How do you spell this?
Wait, Duke's
Of
dear Frasier.
say it again.
Bro,
Dare?
it's the spider with the two asses put together. It has two heads.
Oh, I remember it now. I remember it now. It was cool. Where'd you put it?
A tier.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I love the two heads that you can like cut off, and you can avoid the spiders by like lighting a torch, and the spiders avoid you and stuff like that. It's
Really? I
cool.
didn't
Yeah,
even know that. To me, it just felt like one of the most involved boss fights in the game,
yeah,
where
very
you just had
much.
a lot to do and you had a lot to think about. It was fun.
Yeah, it's very like simple when you just go back and forth like between the heads, but at the same time, like you're thinking constantly and having to worry about other stuff, and like you're constantly thinking, which is cool.
That was good. I like it quite a bit more than the other bosses that they're next to in Dark Souls
Yeah,
2.
I just
Except
wouldn't put it in
for
S tier.
I would not put it in S tier either.
Yeah. All right, Royal Rat Vanguard. This is the one you were thinking of.
It's good.
Yeah, not S tier though.
Not S tier. It's good though.
It is good, yeah. I love the Rat King that like comes out and like looks very similar to the other ones, and you have to like pick it out and kill it. Very cool.
I liked it. Simple as hell. Fits
It's
with the
simple,
area.
very memorable.
Memorable.
Did its job. The
No,
rotten.
I just fucking hated this guy.
Me too. This is exactly like the Leechmonger and the Dirty Colossus. Very similar in like design. I just don't find it. It's just a very boring fight. Like it's cool you can cut off the arms and stuff, but
I didn't even know you could do that.
it's just it's a fight.
It's a fight. I like his
Twin.
concept. I like his idea.
Yeah, I'll put him in C.
Okay. You
I
know
feel
what?
like he's
Yeah.
better than Dirty Colossus and Leechmonger by like a little bit. Puts him in C.
Sure.
That's gonna piss one off putting Calamite and the Rotten next to each other. Someone's gonna like be like red in
is
the
there
face.
Calamite stands? Is there like a Calamite thirst
A Calamite
traps?
fan account.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's people who like watch Calamite hypno videos to try to turn a Calamite. I'm pretty sure. Like, yeah.
Calamite hypno. What is this?
All right. I think this is the Twin Dragon Riders.
The Twin Dragon Riders. Yeah, I'm comfortable
B
with
tier,
B.
yeah. People always like this fight. Whenever they get to it, they're always like, "Oh my god, this fight's gonna suck."
Yeah, people light up this fight. This fight is so
Oh.
so manageable, I
I've
think.
never struggled with this fight.
Me either. Well, I've only fought it once, but I thought it was good.
Yeah, I fought it a couple times, and like every time, like the one with the bow always drops down for me, and I can just kill it, and then the other one's just it's just the Dragon Rider fight again. I just kill it again.
It was a chill time. It was a Dark Souls 2 boss.
Yeah. All right, Looking Glass Knight. S tier. This fight, the rain coming down the arena,
Yeah.
slamming down that mirror, and then someone coming out that's a player. You didn't experience this, but like if you were playing online, which DS2 forces you to play online, you can't turn that off. You're fighting an actual player. So when I fought this boss for the first
Wow.
time,
So
I fought an actual
I
player.
didn't experience the coolest fucking part of the fight.
Yeah,
That's S
yeah,
tier. Holy shit.
yeah, super cool. Seaman of Dawn.
Uh,
I already know where you're gonna put this one. S tier.
no.
It's a frog.
It's a frog. It's a neat fight. I really like how it looks more than anything.
Okay, yeah, I agree with A tier. It's a cool fight, and its design is pretty cool, and it's a little annoying having to like wait for its sack to unsack so you can hit it fleshy part.
That's
All
how
right,
you fought.
it's funny. No one's gonna know
And
what
it's
we're talking
funny.
about.
It's fine.
They do know Velstadt, the Royal of Aegis, whatever
Yeah.
yeah, whatever that says.
I liked him.
A tier. It's a memorable fight, super cool, buffing up and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. Just a solid fight.
Yeah, solid
There's not
fight.
much to say about any Dark Souls 2 boss.
Yeah, most
They're
of the
just
time.
like, it's pretty cool. It fits.
But
It's a
there is a
fine
few that I
moveset.
do have a lot to say about. And I'll be like, yeah.
Okay.
Like King Vendrick, I feel like this is S tier. The fact that you'll go around collecting giant souls or whatever
Fuck.
to make the fight easier, or well, not even to make the fight easier, but just to make the fight like being able to fight.
I never fought him.
That's fair, yeah. But yeah, like
I
I
felt like I felt like I knew you could fight him. I just didn't know how to fight him.
yeah, you have to like collect enough giant lord souls to
I guess I missed one
basically
or something.
means you're able to do more damage to him, and once you reach a certain damage threshold, the fight starts.
Reaches a certain damage threshold?
Yeah.
Okay, so wait, you're fighting the really super withered one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're not fighting his prime. Well, shit. I didn't fuck. I would have fought him. Damn it. I like hit him a few times. I like hit him with a crossbow like 4 or 5 times just for fun. And
Yeah,
he
no,
didn't do anything. I'm like, okay.
yeah, it's very hard to find. I think there's like 5 of them
So
you
it's
can collect. You don't have to collect all of them, but collecting
no, I
all of
think
them
I
makes it easier.
I think I collected like 3. I probably would have been set. Man, that sucks.
Cool idea, like
Yeah, it sounds like an awesome idea. He's so cool. He's so cool.
you know what? I'll put it in A because it can be kind of hard to like find out about it unless you know.
No, put it back up. I haven't even played it, but it's just such a cool idea.
It is, yeah. All right, Guardian Dragon. This is the dragon in the cage. Like B tier, it's like a Dark Souls dragon fight. It's very annoying and basic.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, that's fine. He's fine.
Ancient Dragon, F tier.
I don't remember ancient. Oh, that's the big ass dragon.
Yeah, you can fight it, and it has like a very large health bar. Yeah, very boring fight. You just like there's like a cheese where you just stand at it like its toes and you just poke away at it until it dies. And if you're not doing that, then the fight is very annoying. So
I didn't fight him.
it's
I meant to, but I forgot to.
it's one of the boss fights of all time.
Okay. B
Giant
tier.
Lord. B tier for what fight?
Giant Lord.
Really?
I don't know. It's really cool. Like okay,
A tier.
really
I'm gonna put it in A tier because it's
actually
super cool.
he looks really fucking cool, and I like that you fight him in a dream.
Yeah.
But the actual fight itself, I have no memories of.
You know what? I'll put it in B because of the camera. There's like a
The
big
camera.
issue where the camera doesn't zoom out for like a giant boss, that you're fighting.
I think that's what did it for me. I think that's
Yeah.
what made me think the fight was mid.
It can be hard to see what's going on, and most of the time you're just kind of hitting the feet. And
Because you're like next to a wall too,
next to a wall, yeah, it makes it hard to see what's going on.
instead of the center of like a big field or something. Would have been better.
Or just zooming out the camera. Throne Guardians.
They're cool. They're
They're
really cool.
They're not too bad to fight. I feel like as a dual boss fight, Dark Souls 2 does dual boss fights. I feel like really well.
I struggled the most with that in Dark Souls with that this fight in Dark Souls 2. I think they I had the toughest time with them. They're cool. I
Yeah,
like the idea a lot of like the reviving people. So
yeah,
you're timing it as well. So much fun.
yeah. You have to like revive them, or like they revive each other. Yeah, super interesting fight. I don't mind it too much. If I were to like talk about it from a speedrun standpoint, it would be like here. It'd be like off
uh,
fucking screen. Like
I'm
speedrunning
comfortable
this
with A.
sucks. Nash, once again, another fight. That would be off screen if I had my choice. B.
Off screen. What do you mean by that?
There's like an AI break you can do for this genre that is you get one shot per playthrough, and it's
One
very hard to do. I had to use a metronome, and I would still miss it. Not a fun time.
one shot per playthrough. You could just kill her.
No,
What?
I
Wait.
said
Okay.
one chance per playthrough to try to AI break her
Oh.
with
Okay.
a like pretty much frame perfect glitch that I had to use a metronome to time, and could not get it consistently.
I would put her in C tier.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, right next to
I
Run.
feel the same about fighting her that I do with like Seath the Scaleless.
You know what? I'm gonna put her in B tier, and the reason why is because this is the first boss where it introduces another boss after a boss immediately, but when you die, you don't have to fight the Throne Guardians again. You go right into the Nash fight, which is something
Yeah.
really cool that I wish Elden Ring would have done.
I didn't experience that. I think I went to the Throne Guardians like too early or something, and I left and came back and she was there.
Dark Lurker. It's a cool fight. I'm gonna put
I
it
don't
in
think I
A
fought
tier.
them.
It's really hard to find. You have to like do like this like covenant thing and go through like
Oh.
find like the three like areas of like the old dude and like go into like these places and light these torches and all this other stuff. It's very hard to finally get to the fight, which is why I'll put it in B tier thinking about it. Getting to this fight is very annoying, but I don't mind the fight too much. Halfway through the fight, she like splits apart into two, which is an interesting dual boss fight that you don't see too often from FromSoft, where it starts out as one and then becomes two, and it's not like two separate entities, but like it cloned itself,
I'll take your word for it.
which is cool. Haven't fought him. Haven't fought him. Haven't fought him. Haven't fought him. Have fought this one. But I don't remember if I beat it or not. Fuck this dude. Fuck that one. Fuck that one. Fuck that one seems cool.
Do
But I
I
haven't
know
fought
do I
him.
know any of these?
Haven't fought him. All of these are DLC except this one.
Okay, I probably haven't fought them.
This one's like the apparently like the true final boss, but
Oh, what?
it's just
I
like
need to fight them.
it's just like Nash again.
Oh,
All right, we're about to like speed run through these, aren't we?
yeah.
Cleric Beast, S tier.
Where's Cleric? Who's
This
Cleric
is the
Beast?
first Bloodborne boss
Oh,
on like the
S tier?
bridge.
You know what? Yeah, he was like super fucking intimidating.
Intimidating, and it teaches you the game.
Yeah.
And it has the weakness to fire as well.
Yeah,
that
you know,
can use. Yeah, super
I
cool.
completely fucking forgot about that. Yeah, I think it explained it pretty well too. Like
Yeah.
I guess hinted at it enough. Yeah, I had a good ass time fighting that thing.
Father Gascoigne, fucking S tier. Oh my god, this
Also
fight.
S tier.
This fight where
um,
his second phase where he just transitions into a furry.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I fucking love the setting. I love the music. I love everything about this boss. I actually like it more than Cleric Beast. I think that's not an unpopular thing to say either. I assume
Yeah,
because
no,
it's got so
no.
much going for it.
It
It's just so
has so
fucking
much,
cool. It's
yeah.
another hunter, pretty much.
Yeah, it's so cool. And the fact that like the lore around it, and if you find like the music box,
I know,
you can
I know,
like,
I know
do
it.
that, and oh, so cool.
I like I was a big fucking nerd for reading and looking around at this point, and I found the item and I knew exactly what to do, but I didn't decided not to because I was told that it would make the fight easier and I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, no, I mean that's fair, but I feel like it's cool that you can do that, and it's an optional thing. But once again, I feel like if a boss is like required to be beaten, you should never have an item that is required to help beat the boss, or
I
else the
think
fight
that's
is
good.
extremely hard. but you can have
Yeah.
an item that makes the boss fight easier.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to speedrun?
Yep. That's so funny. I need to play Bloodborne one of these days. I only beat the first 2 bosses, and I didn't die. I'm really proud of myself.
Me too. I think I accidentally messed up and put Gundyr in here. Where is he? There he is. Okay. I went a little too quick. Gundyr,
Awesome.
S tier.
Yeah.
Such a good tutorial boss.
Gundyr.
It challenges you, but at the same time, you can like learn the fight and it teaches you how to play the game.
He's so fucking
So cool. And then becomes like when he becomes a pus of man, it changes the fight and you're taught about second phase transitions and that you should be ready for a fight to just completely change its moveset and you need to be ready for it.
I felt like a horror monster. It was so sick.
So cool. So cool. And pulling the sword out.
And it set the tone for Dark Souls 3 like so well. It takes full advantage of it being like pretty much the quickest game they made out of the Dark Souls series. Not Bloodborne, but the Dark Souls series.
Yeah, no, definitely. Vort, like B.
I'm good with that. People hate on Vort, but I like Vort.
Vort has weird hitboxes, like cool design, just weird hitboxes that are questionable in the second phase.
I love that he's on his fucking hands and knees. It's so cool. He's like an animal.
You, of course, love him on his hands and knees, don't you?
Yeah, on your hands?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, buy on your hands, please. Editor, put on your hands on the screen. What a callback.
Yeah.
Ballsack boss, like C.
I'm good with that. It was it's cool as shit. Isn't it optional?
Yeah, it's optional. Like it allows you to like transpose like the boss souls into weapons and stuff. It's like it's sort of.
I thought it was unique enough, and I appreciated its existence.
Yeah, and it's not too bad to go back and refight, even though it's a gimmick fight.
What you thinking?
Of Crystal.
Convince me, because I'm not solid.
For what?
I just don't have a solid idea of where it should go.
I'm gonna go B.
B.
It's not a bad fight. The second phase is cool. How like he becomes multiple, and like you find the one that's purple, and then you can attack that one or whatever. But
I guess it's easy to read. It's got a fine move set that you can learn. It's not too wildly difficult, but it does have some like elements that seem kind of bullshit at first. It has a cool gimmick of like disappearing, reappearing.
I'm gonna put it in A because I kind of do like.
And it's got a nice little arena.
Yeah, it takes like a design from like the Hideo Miyazaki films. I feel like it has that very kind of that vibe to it. The other Miyazaki, not the Hidetaki Miyazaki, the Hideo Miyazaki. Don't confuse those two. Not like their names are so closely similar and they're both very famous people. All right, Deacons of the Deep.
I remember them now. I like the concept.
Yeah, I feel like C, like it's Cursed Ride, a Great Wood area, like cool concept, boring fight.
What did they do besides like kind of walk it? It's almost like a loser fight.
Yeah,
it's almost like a loser fight in the sense that you're like going in there and you're like cleaving like swaths of people in half.
It's also very tedious to do because you have to go and like find the one that has like the fire around them, and then eventually the main deacon spawns in. It just feels tedious. Where I feel like a lot of the other loser fights don't feel as tedious. They go by a lot quicker.
That's true. That's very true. I think that's fair.
S tier. Hold up.
Who are they?
I gotta. Farron's Undead Legion. These are the Abyss Watchers.
Yeah.
S tier. The only thing I don't like about this fight, the only thing that I can say I hate about it, I wish they were a later game or a later in the game as a boss because they are so cool.
Yeah, it would have been a lot cooler. And they can like fight each other. Oh my gosh, I was like confused and kind of scared like seeing all of them. It was so fucking cool.
Like a child in a mall, and Lord, that pit bull is coming for you.
Yup, and the second phase was fucking incredible. Seeing them like coalesce into like one being.
Super cool fight.
Amazing spectacle.
On air. I say B. It's like Vort range.
That's
It's
fair.
cool,
Because
but
I really really liked that it was just darkness. I was fucking terrified when I first saw him, but I figured out you just hit the gauntlets. Like, okay, this is kind of
yeah,
easy. I appreciate him though.
yeah. A lot about this fight is From Software had like time constraints as they always do with their games, and Walner didn't get as much as they wanted to do with him, so they took what they have, and that's why it's so dark. Because if you were to take away that darkness, it's a very bad boss arena and just
You know,
sucks, and it's a gimmick fight. But I like what they
I
did
have
with what they had, and I respect it.
I have a friend. I have two friends. They have
Damn way
very
to
strong
flex.
opinions. Yeah, they're very strong. They have big muscles. They have very strong opinions about Dark Souls, and one of them is adamant that like Dark Souls 2 is pretty good, and that the hardest in the series was 3. And I can totally understand that because it was way quicker. And the other one is like the easiest in the series. All of them, out of all of them, is 3. And that is, I'm starting to see what he means because like a lot of these bosses in 3 like kind of aren't shit. I mean, I'm thinking of that
Yeah,
retrospectively.
yeah. There are some like bad bosses in DS3, but the ones that are good are really good. But the
Yeah,
combat is also so good that once you get good enough at the game, they don't feel hard anymore because you have gotten good. Where I feel like Dark Souls 1, where even when you are good, it's very easy to just make a mistake. And because of how
yeah,
slow the game is, you just get hit and you can't correct or fix it when you just make the tiniest little mistake.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I think that makes sense. I just was having a hard time conceptualizing exactly how those two felt the way they feel. But also the guy who said like Dark Souls 3 was the easiest in the Dark Souls series, he played Elden Ring first, which is all it's like so
I feel
close to
like,
Dark Souls 3.
yeah, I feel like Elden Ring's like the hardest.
I feel like he got so much practice for Dark
Yeah.
Souls 3.
Yeah, Elden Ring, like if you don't go around collecting every single buff like I did, and or not, well, I didn't like go around and collect every buff. Like what I'm saying is I didn't do that. Those final bosses are extremely hard all of a sudden if you're not like
Yeah, I leveled up my
rocking a
weapon
bleed
to
build. Yeah,
max. Can you believe it?
I know you had to.
I had to. They were fucking tough as nails, and I loved it. Oh my gosh. People say like Elden Ring is so easy. That's just because they give you tools to make it easy.
Yeah, that's because you can apply like 15 buffs at a time and like one shot the boss with a stone hammer. You seen
It's there
that?
if you want
Someone
it.
one shotting the
Yeah.
final boss of
Yeah.
that? Yeah, like
But did they like two hand like stone hammers? They got somebody to trade them one or something?
something like that. Yeah,
So cool. I love that you can do that.
old Demon Kane.
I liked his concept. I thought he looked cool too.
I'm gonna go A. It's a cool fight. I feel like the fight's very basic, but I love when you get it down to like extremely low HP, like kind of like what happens with Sif, but like the fire goes out and the boss is just pretty much done. Like he gives one last blast of fire, and then that's
Ah.
his last breath,
Oh, that is
and
that is
it's
fucking
the
sick.
demon race dying there.
I'm glad you refreshed my memory on that because that is really fucking sick.
Yeah, I can't put it in S tier because it's not
No, it's
not
like it's
S.
not a great fight.
Yorm. I want to put Yorm in S.
I liked Yorm. Cool set piece.
Cool.
And if you had what was his name? Siegfried?
Siegmeyer, yeah.
Siegmeyer. You got like a cool little cutscene. And it doesn't take away from the boss that much either, to be honest.
Yeah, no.
Just a cool fight. Just a really
Yeah.
good, memorable fight. It's like a scene in a movie.
Yeah, and that's what I love about it. And like technically you can beat this boss without having to use Storm Ruler, but it's not hard, but it's also not the best of time. But also using Storm Ruler doesn't make the boss a cakewalk as well. The
Yeah.
boss is still fighting back. And then the lore reason with like the Storm Ruler being like he gave these weapons to humanity, one to like the people and is like in the profane capital, and then one to a close friend. And it's like if you have enough courage, then come and kill me. Pontiff Sullivan. I'm going
Ponce-
with S.
I forgot where we were at.
Pontiff Sullivan, I'm pretty sure.
You know what? Yeah, I like the story leading up to it. Because you have like people talking about him before you actually meet up with him. It's like a cruel son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And he pretty much like fucked up the entire area that he's the boss of.
He's one of the bosses that you can parry, and it doesn't, like, the boss is easier if you parry, but it doesn't make the fight 3 as well, unless you're using, like, certain weapons, if you get what I mean.
It was still tough for me, even though I
Yeah.
knew I could parry him.
Yeah, it's still very tough. And when he finally goes into the second phase and brings in the new ghost guy that just
So
copies
cool.
his moveset is very cool.
It's so cool. It was bullshit at times, but you just have to recognize that you can't go in whenever the animations are synced up in such a way.
Yeah, it's one of those boss fights where, the boss clones themselves, but I really love how like it copies the moveset.
Cool gimmick, cool look, cool area, cool arena, very thematic, like a church setting. A bastard that you can probably glean some story out of if you try to pay attention. Good ass boss.
Aldrich.
Interesting. I fucking love his arena. The fact that it is on Orlando, pretty much on Orlando. Yeah, I think it's a really cool
Really
fight. I
cool,
think
yeah.
I think he's got like really telegraphed attacks. This guy's a fucker, an absolute fucker.
Only one that
From what
sucks is like the bow attack.
is the one that like rains down little
Yeah,
sparkles on you?
yeah, that's the like it rains
That's the
down
one.
arrows. Yeah,
Yeah, hate that move.
that one's a little bullshit, but I
I
don't
don't
feel
know how to
like
dodge
it's
that
enough
well.
to put it in B tier next to
No,
Vort
no,
and
no, no,
Iron
no.
Lord
He's so
Walner.
cool.
Yeah, he's just so cool.
He's so cool, and that's the only thing that's like really annoying.
Yeah, and there's a way to avoid it, but like it's not like dodging. You have to like go around like behind the tail and stuff like that, or like run away, and it's possible. It's just one of those attacks that should have never been.
Yeah, yeah,
Dancer of the Boreal Valley, S tier.
yeah.
Such a good fight.
I feel a little disappointed with Dancer. Like I love Dancer, but it was really hyped up to be really, really, really fucking hard. But I don't think that's the case. I think people were playing Dark Souls 3, got into like a rhythm, and then just the Dancer really throws that off. But the way I did, it was just like looked at the individual movements rather than like, okay, they're starting an attack. That means the attack is going to happen this amount of seconds away from the attack. I think people get stuck into a rigid mode, and Dancer breaks that. I think it's brilliant for that.
I think it's the exact opposite.
Really?
The difference between a good Dark Souls player and someone who's kind of new is reading a move. So
Yeah.
here, picture this. Someone's swinging a sword at you in Dark Souls, and the sword's in their right hand. So from your point of view, it's gonna go left to right in this swipe, and it will hit you. Most players, if they have like a tendency to roll to the right, they'll try to roll to avoid it just to the right or forward or backwards, whichever. But the correct way to do it would be to dodge through the attack, because the whole time that attack is having a hitbox. So you want to go through the weapon with your iframes and then come out the other side where the attack's not going to hit you on the tail end.
Yeah.
And that's the difference I feel like people don't understand with like Dancer, and it can be kind of hard with the moveset for sure. But the fact that you pay attention to the moves is what sets you apart and made it easier.
Yeah, the actual movements. People hyped it up
Yeah.
so much, but the animations are really beautiful, and I think they tell you a lot about what you need to do.
Yeah,
It's
no.
just communicated perfectly.
And I'll skip ahead to Nameless. I feel like this is a pretty much S tier fight for me.
Easily.
Nameless?
I really fucking like him.
Was really hard my first time. I struggled, but once I got good at the game and started reading attacks and like learning how to see an attack and like understand what to do, not because I knew the boss's attack, but because I knew what to do when given a certain attack, that's when it clicked and the fight became super easy. And then I can
Hell
say,
yeah.
the fight's easy. And it's kind of the same thing with you with Dancer. And I can kind of see like in the same vein, which is why I wanted to skip to that one. All right, what's next? Is that Champion Gundyr?
Is it Champion Gundyr or is it the Dragon Knight? Or not the Dragon Knight, the Knight Armor.
It is Knight Armor. B.
You don't like it that much at all?
Mm-mm.
I thought it was really cool. It was kind of a wall for me. I didn't have too much trouble with it, but I think I had the most trouble in the game with it.
It's just annoying. And then the worst part is the closest bonfire is like an elevator ride. So when you die,
that's
you just have
fucking
to
annoying.
sit there like, oh my
The
God.
run back is fucking annoying.
Osiris, the Consumed King.
B though, I like his moveset.
Osiris?
No, the armor from before.
You like his
I like his
movesets? Yeah,
moves.
they're telegraphed. My issue is the second phase, the butterflies off screen that shoot projectiles down at you
Yeah, that's
randomly,
fucking
and you just have
annoying.
to
That's
dodge
fucking
them.
annoying.
Like,
It's like, yeah, that's kind of bullshit. You can't really see it coming unless you're like constantly locking off and locking on.
yeah, I don't like that part of it.
That's kind of bullshit. It's like I don't think it's fun.
Yeah.
But other than that, I really like the boss. Personally, A tier, but I'm fine with B.
I mean, I put it in the same thing as like Nito. It just has like annoying features about it that I don't like, but it's still a cool design boss.
Okay.
And OS, yeah. Cyrus, F tier if I could have my way, but I'll put it in C.
That's okay, that's like the weird dragon experiment guy.
Yeah, this fight's either super easy or super hard. It like the moveset isn't bad, but it's cool design and stuff, but
He was super easy for me, and I like that he was going fucking berserk.
yeah, and the thing I don't like about this boss is the boss has this instant charge attack, which is very infamous in speedrunning because you don't have a lot of HP, and it is very much known that when you get the instant charge, if you don't block, you will die. And dying
Really?
is really bad. That that
No way.
that's in the speedrun glossary. Like that is a term for speedrunning. Dying is bad, really
Dying be
bad.
bad, man.
It's a Dark Souls 3 term because whenever you die, you're no longer embered, and that means you'll have less HP.
Ooh.
Some lineups use embered health bars for like glitches and things like that. So
Yeah.
dying is really bad. And when
Yeah.
you have an attack that's just an instant charge that can one-shot you, come on. Champion Gundyr though, S tier. This just took the tutorial boss Gundyr, turned them
And made
into a
him
later game boss, and made them so cool.
I don't give a fuck if people say like they use the same boss twice. I don't give a fuck. Champion Gundyr is awesome.
It is not the same boss. The
It is
moveset has
not the same
changed
boss.
so much that it.
And plus, you're doing like the weird, like the world warping in on itself, like looping in on itself.
Oh yeah.
And it's like it like fits thematically with the theme of the entire game.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Another
Ooh, it's
boss you can
awesome.
parry, and parrying them makes them easier, but it's still a hard fight if you parry them. I love that. I love that like
Very cool.
high risk, high reward, but still not too high of a reward where it feels dumb not to parry. The incest twins, S tier.
The Incest Twins.
You know what? Thinking about the run back, I'll put them in A tier. But if there was a bonfire outside
What was
the
the run
boss
back?
fight,
It was like an elevator.
it was from Dragon Rider's bonfire. You can either go up an elevator, go up the large flight of stairs, past all the enemies, and then get to the fight. Or you can get an elevator off to like the side closer to the door. But that one, you have to go from the Dragon Rider's bonfire, backtracking to like that church before the Dragon Rider. You know what I'm talking about? That like room off to the side with like a couple items. And then the elevator's there, and then you have to take that elevator up to the boss.
Yeah.
So either way, it's just an annoying run back. But the fight is really cool. The teleporting is super cool. And then once you get into the second phase, Lorien, it's Lothric and Lorien. I believe Lorien is the elder, the one with the broken legs.
Yeah.
And Lothric is the younger prince, and that's the one on the back who's feebled.
I think it's
and the cutscene, it just sticks in my mind.
Me too. I think it's so cool that they're like really defiant to their like destiny
another
or whatever.
Dogged contender.
Dogged contender.
Yeah.
I fucking really love that they like we've known that all of the lords are like defiant to their or what's told to them to be their destiny. I forget, they didn't sacrifice themselves. They never did, but it was like they were like next in line or something.
They were supposed to do it. Yeah.
I fucking love that, and I feel like it's very evident because even if you don't pay that much attention, I think you can get that like they're really defiant against what you're trying to push on them. It's so fucking cool, and they're badass. They're so fucking cool, and they make up for each other's weaknesses. Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, I feel like it's From Software saying that they don't want to make Dark Souls anymore. Like looking at it from like taking like the far angle lens of it. That's kind of like what the lords are saying. They don't want to link the fire again. They've done it, and then when we get to the Soul Ascender is all about like it's everybody who's linked the flame before into one.
Yeah, because they were using different move sets. Oh
yeah, and it's the end. I'll just move them up here since we're talking about them. And
Lord of Cinder.
Yeah, and it's like the end.
I know people who just like don't like Lord of Cinder. I know two people, like the two people I was talking about, who have strong opinions on Dark Souls. Neither of them liked Lord of Cinder. I loved Lord of Cinder.
It's such a cool boss fight. The Berserk reference with the Eclipse, and not only that, the swords in the ground, referencing the if you remember this, the Hill of Swords that Rickhart, I believe, made after all like the fallen Band of the Hawk like members. Every single one of them, he made a sword and put it in, and it kind of like looks like that, but instead of being fallen members, it's like everybody who has like ascended the Lord or the throne and like linked the flame. And the game is about, I feel like, about not wanting to link the flame, not wanting to continue this cycle, to just slip into the age of darkness, and From Software wanting to move on and make their own thing. Elden Ring, Armored Core.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I guess it's mostly just fan speculation of like reflecting the themes, but it's still like, even if it's not the intention of them putting that in it, it's more so of just like an end to Dark Souls. Like they just want to put a bow on the series because people want a bow on the series. Even if it's just that, I feel like they unintentionally made something that people could reflect their own thoughts about FromSoft itself, or the team that makes the games.
Yeah.
I don't know. Art is what you put into it. It's not like what you see.
Yeah, no.
Great.
And you kind of even see that with the DLC, with the Rain City DLC. Like that even kind of reinforces it more, for sure. But yeah, we're
I
getting
need to play the DLC.
Ancient Wyvern, like F tier.
Who? What?
That's the
Who's
one
that?
where you plunge and like insta kill it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Sure. I guess.
It's like Ancient Dragon. It's just more of a nuisance.
A nuisance. Yeah, I feel like it would have been way cooler in Dark Souls 1. Where like it's a big set
Yeah.
piece. But in Dark Souls 3, where everything is a lot more quicker and there's a lot more focus on the combat, it just feels out of place.
Yeah, you're just kind of running through a whole bunch of enemies to get to the spot to plunge attack it. And the worst part is you can miss and die.
That's so weird. It would have been a good Dark Souls 1 boss though.
Yeah. Champion Gravetender. So this is DLC boss. This is a boss with like multiple like dog enemies with like a humanoid.
Dog ass enemies.
Then at a certain point, a giant dog comes in and helps the humanoid enemy. Very much just a DPS check. Not too interesting. I don't enjoy the fight. It's one of the fights I don't care about going back and replaying. Unlike this one. Sister Freed and Father Ariendel, S tier. One of FromSoft firing on all cylinders, making one of the best bosses ever made.
I need to play the DLC.
I don't want to spoil anything about it for you. This is one of those bosses I just will not spoil anything for it, because
I'm excited to go through the Dark Souls game.
It is amazing. Twin Princess, I'm gonna put in B. It's a really cool boss, just super annoying, has a lot of HP. I don't enjoy having to go back and fight this boss again. It's hard, but I just don't enjoy it.
All right.
This boss has way too much HP. Here, let me look up how much HP it has real quick for you. So the Demon Prince has 14 plus 7, 21,000 HP combined. It.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no.
That doesn't even feel like a real number. It's too high. They don't make numbers that high.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's split. I won't say how it's split to not spoil it for you, but like that's still a lot. No matter like if it's a 1 health bar or multiple. Midir, S tier. Midir is the best dragon boss fight From has ever done, and I don't think they'll ever like do again unless they just copy it. It's a little annoying to like get to the Midir fight, to be fair, but the fight more than makes up for it. It is every giant enemy, you have the inclination to be under its feet. Midir is the one fight where it does not want you to be under its feet, and you will actively die for being under its feet and trying to hit its tail or its back legs. But once you see you can lock onto its giant head and you deal extra damage to the head, and you stop fighting the boss by trying to get under it, but stand it down and face it headstrong, the boss becomes an actual fight and becomes easier and doable. Still challenging, but it becomes a fight, and it's a giant dragon fight that feels fair and cool, and it's one of the best fights ever made.
Sick.
Can you tell I love Dark Souls 3? Half-Light, B. It's another boss that spawns in a player, but this one's more annoying because it also spawns in like extra enemies as well. And
that's weird.
Yeah, at this point it feels overdone. Like they were really happy about what they did with the Keenan Yellow, and they kept doing it and they kept doing it, and then by the time you get to Half-Light, you're over it. Slave Knight Gale, S tier, the final boss of Dark Souls.
I keep hearing this name.
Penultimate boss of Dark Souls. What else is to say? Amazing fight.
I'm excited to fight him.
Okay, this Sekiro order is weird, sort of.
Yeah, I don't know any of these guys.
Oh, it doesn't have any of the mini bosses, that's why. So this is the first Genichiro fight where you just die to him It's like alright. There's not much to it. Gyobu Masataka Oniwa, S tier. Horse riding boss. That's just super cool. Mistress Butterfly. I love her fight. Some people don't like it because Critical said, this boss fight is poopy cock water. I don't really like it. So everybody doesn't like this fight.
This boss kind of sucks. It's got no pee pee poo poo fart doo doo cum.
Yeah, no, I love this fight though. It is such a cool fight, and just like all the things you can do to make the fight easier that like, you can figure out, and I love the fight. This is the first real boss fight. This is Jinichiro actually fighting him, I believe. This is a intense boss fight that forces you to learn the game. This boss fight is what will make you know if you're going to keep playing the game or not. Because you can't just get by like dodging anymore. You have to learn how to play the game, how the game wants you to play it. And it's letting you know.
Damn.
This is Miss Noble. Oh no, this is Folding Screen Monkeys. F tier. This is unironically a puzzle boss. Guardian Ape, S tier. I love this fight. I remember my first time fighting this fight. And
that guy looks badass. It's like the only boss I know because he looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, just a giant monkey with a sword. Super cool. Old Monk. It's a boss.
Neat.
Annoying one to fight, but there's like a lot of stuff you can do to make the fight easier. Like confetti.
Hooray!
Ashina. I think that's his name. Ishin Ashina. Yeah, Ishin Ashina. Ishin. Old Man Ishin fight, super good, super cool. Just the arena, the moveset, everything about it. Where Emma? Why is Emma over there? Emma, S tier. Emma suplexes you.
Oh.
I mean, she doesn't really suplex you, but she pulls out some wrestling moves on you. Super cool. I don't know why she was over there. Some of the Sekiro ones are a little bit hard to understand, a little out of order, I think. Why was Owl over there? Owl should have been before. Owl's like an A tier fight for me. I don't mind it. He played like he's a very tricky boss, and that's his whole thing. He's a shinobi. That's his shtick, is to be an annoying piece of shit. Headless Ape. B. Still a cool boss, but making it a duo fight is not fun. Corrupted Monk. B. I feel like it expands on Old Monk because this is the exact same boss, but it's done a lot better and more interesting. Divine Dragon. I'm gonna put it in A, not S, because it is a super cool set piece, but it's a very basic fight, but super cool. Owl Father, S. It just took the owl fight, gave him more moves. Such a good fight.
Hell yeah.
Demon of Hatred. I'm gonna go with A. Like the story around it is super cool. The set piece is super cool. The arena is super cool.
His name is badass.
The boss fight just doesn't feel like a Sekiro boss fight to me, and felt more like a Dark Souls boss fight, which a lot of people have described it as, and I feel like that's a big negative in it for me, which makes me not like fighting it. And last, Ishin Ashina. S tier. This fight.
Damn.
You will understand what I mean by hesitation is defeat. You will have that ingrained into your memory. You know how when Melania kills you, she goes, I am Melania, Blade of Mikola.
Okay. Yeah.
You'll know. You'll remember.
I like bosses that tell you how to beat them when they beat you. They did that a couple times in Fury.
That'd be so funny. You die to a boss and they just like look down at you and be like, did you know I'm weak to lightning?
Hold RT to parry.
Hold RT to parry at this time. Yeah. That'd be great. I'd love that. All right. Here's my Soulsborne tier list. Now, if anybody ever asks me for like what I think of specific bosses, I can just send them this video.
Hooray!
You heard it from Frog.